Now, let's take you back to the Western Cape, or conversations in the Western Cape, as we continue to get reaction to the ANC elective conference there, where they've ushered in new leadership. Vuyiso JJ Tialisisu is the new chairperson, and he'll be deputized by Sharon Davids, while the secretary is Neville Delport. The conference will close later today, and it's expected to be closed by an address by ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa. Let's pick the brain now of political analyst Ntsikelelo Breakfast, who joins us virtually. Ntsikelelo, you've been keeping a very close eye on developments at that conference. Of course, a lot of talk ahead of the time that the fact that this is the first time that they've been able to get their ducks in a row to have this elective conference since back in 2015, pointing to the large amount of factional fighting that we've had down there particularly, but that's also nothing new when it comes to ANC politics. What did you make of the results of that leadership battle with Vuyiso JJ Tialisisu coming from, some would say, coming from nowhere because the nomination came from the floor, beating out the veteran ANC member Cameron Dagbo by 26 votes, I think it was. How did you read how that all played out?
Well, I think the electoral outcomes are all well and good, but I think that it could have been better, or it could have been good if they had elected another chairperson for strategic reasons, and also for some of the issues that I had played in that particular province, in particular the issue of race, because whether you like it or not, I mean, race is a central way of examining things in the South African body politic. So it could have been better if they had elected another person who happened not to be black, because when the ANC doesn't pay attention to some of the issues which are raised by other communities, by so doing, it plays into the hands of other political parties who are in opposition to the ANC, who normally argue that the ANC is only meant for black people, not for other racial categories. So you cannot downplay this issue. I'm raising the issue of chairmanship on purpose, because the chairman is the embodiment or the image of the party in the province. So I think that would have been better. But it's fine. I mean, they have a new leadership. They have not had leadership for the past 8 years, as you indicated when you were setting the scene earlier on. So now they have to function as a unit. Elections are just around the corner. So yeah, let's see how it goes. But I think they also have a tough competition from the DA, whether you like it or not. I mean, the DA takes pride in getting the job done. I'm not saying that they don't have weaknesses, but in terms of running municipalities, they tend to get clean audits. And the ANC, last time it was in power, it was in 2004.
Yeah.
So the ANC has had a downward electoral trajectory, and it will take time for them to dislodge the DA from the helm of power.
I want to talk. If I could just dig a little bit deeper there about your first point about them needing to have been a little bit more strategic in who they elected in Ntsikelelo. Are you saying that this time around, in this specific elective conference, in this specific province, that the election of especially the leader and, like you say, the face of the party should have been done with an eye on the next local government elections, as in to ask the question, will this person be electable to a broader audience and not just the internal ANC audience when we head to the polls the next time around?
The point I'm making is that you want a leadership that is going to be embraced by all and sundry throughout the length and the breadth of that particular province. You don't want a leadership that is going to be rejected by other people. I think it's natural, you know, for people to look for those of their own in leadership. You want to see your own people, you know. So I'm saying that for strategic reasons, it could have been good, in my view, if they had elected someone else. so that the party can build on that and also pose a threat to the DA. But I mean, it's fine. You know, this is a step towards a right direction as well. They've got a new leaders. So yeah, let's see how it goes.
Yeah, perhaps the focus, do you think the ANC, they should be focusing on getting their own ducks in a row first before they even focus on taking on the Democratic Alliance? Because if this is the first time that they've been able to have an elective conference since 2015, it does point to a lot of cracks in that organization. I mean, I'm from the Western Cape originally as well, and I remember covering the political beat back in, like, I think 2000 and middle 2000s, when Ibrahim Rasool was still the leader of the party there. Ramatlakane was quite involved there. Mcebisi Skwatsha is still involved in the party, but he was very much front and center in terms of the leadership there as well. But the province has changed. The population of the province has changed. And therefore the party has to reflect that as well. Where do you think they're getting it wrong?
Look, I mean, one of the reasons why the party has been dragging its feet in terms of holding the conference was due to some internal squabbles amongst ANC members. And some of those squabbles, whether you like it or not, they are along racial lines. So the ANC need to work on that and make sure that the issue of, I would say, the national question is fully addressed, so that even other, I would say, racial categories can find comfort in the ANC, you know, so that the ANC is not seen to be gravitating to only one racial community. I think by so doing, it can really pose a serious threat to the DA, because the DA has been advancing the narrative that, you know, the ANC is not for everyone. And also what compounds the situation is the perception that, you know, in the bigger scheme of things, that some of the racially inspired policies are not meant for other racial categories. In particular, in that particular province, there have been a number of court cases in that regard. But yeah, I mean, they have a lot of work to do in terms of preparing for the upcoming elections.
Now, let's look at that competition from the Democratic Alliance. Some might argue that there is no competition because the DA has just kept focusing on the business of running that province. Do you think that the worst thing that could happen to them is the fact that they now have a mayor there that seems to be making all the right noises and is really pushing up his sleeves in making sure services get to the communities that before the local government run by the Democratic Alliance could have been criticized for ignoring? I mean, I just spoke to the mayor of Cape Town a few days ago, and they are moving forward with plans to upgrade the infrastructure for water and sanitation in the townships. They are moving forward with plans to make sure they can get this My City bus service to run from Khayelitsha to Cape Town. So while the ANC in the Western Cape have been could be accused of belly gazing, the Democratic Alliance now seems to be doing the business of running the city and perhaps the province for all of the communities now, which has been a criticism against them before.
I think in terms of the management of a bureaucracy, in my humble opinion, the DA stands out. If you look at the reports of AG in the past a couple of years, I mean, I can single out a number of municipalities in the Western Cape which are doing well. Saldanha, the city of Cape Town, this and that. Yeah, the list is endless. So based on that, I think the DA stands out. But the DA falls short in terms of breaching the divide between the haves and the have-nots, in particular, you know, along racial lines. I mean, sometimes when you're in Cape Town, you think that you are in a different country.
Yeah.
You know, we go to, CBD, but when you go to Langa, it's a different kettle of fish. So also the DA does have weaknesses, but I think the weaknesses of the ANC, I think they are too much. You know, they really need to work on them if they want to be taken seriously by the electorate.
Okay, we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much for your insight. Indeed, something we'll be keeping a close eye on, developments in at the ANC in the Western Cape as we head ever closer to the polls. Of course, national elections next year, but then, of course, the local government elections to follow.